Let's turn to one of our top stories tonight. Government is being urged as a matter of urgency to ensure all state-owned properties are insured. Now, this follows recent assessments which revealed that some properties were located at earthquake-prone areas. Now, let's pull out an artwork for you which appears to be a passionate appeal to President Akufo-Addo by the insurance practitioner, Justice Pepraje. So essentially saying, earthquake in Ghana, Mr. President, I'm very happy to hear that you have issued a number of directives to the ministries, departments, and agencies in response to a report compiled by a committee of experts tasked to assess the country's state of preparedness for the occurrence of earthquakes. Mr. President, it would be fully completed if all these properties are insured and the liability losses that may arise as a result of a possible earthquake also insured. Where it's difficult to mitigate and retain risk, transfer is a better option. My humble opinion. Thank you. That's Justice Pepraje, an insurance practitioner. He joins us on Zoom for more on this. So we have been monitoring the appeals from you. I just want to find out how dire it is for us. Should we not insure our properties in these earthquake-prone areas, as you mentioned?
Okay, thank you very much. And let me use this opportunity to greet your viewers. I think I was very happy when I heard that the president has charged, the engineers to look at this. You know, when you look at earthquake risk, there are pre-loss actions that needs to be taken, and there are post-loss actions that also needs to be taken. So when you want to build a structure, basically there are two ways that you need to build them. We have the box action. The box action means that you have to build your structure in a safe way so that when there's a movement of the earth, it can stand. Then the frame action means that you have to build in a certain way that when there's a movement, the builder can also move on the surface of the earth without any damage. But now let's realize, we should ask ourselves, do we have buildings built in these structures or in these ways? If you don't have buildings which are built in these ways to face earthquake, then what it means is when there's earthquake right now, no building is going to be able to stand. Now, if the buildings are not going to be able to stand, it means that first, pre-loss actions were not taken right. Now, if the pre-loss actions were not taken right, then we have to look at the post-loss actions. Now, the post-loss action is when there's an earth, there's going to be damage to property.
Looks like we have.
It's not only the damage to properties, but there's also going to be damage to property and all other people. For instance, let's look at the government properties that you're talking about. There are a lot of people working in these buildings. So when there's a collapse, when there's an earthquake and there's a collapse of a building, all these people are going to what? Some are going to die, some are going to get injured. Let me remind us of the Melcombe's case that happened in Accra. There was a sudden fall of the building. And when the building collapsed, we all saw the casualties that was presented to us. So this is why it's necessary to transfer this risk. Because now when we look at it, we don't have building built in this structure in this way to face any earthquake. So if you don't have these, then it's on us for us to insure them, transfer the risk that comes with the earthquake. And the most fascinating thing is, when you look at the Insurance Act 2006, Section 183 and 184 mandates all private commercial properties to be insured, but government properties are not there. So all private commercial properties are to be insured. So this means that when there is any fall of a building, because maybe due to collapse or other perils, then the people can have compensation from insurance companies. But what about if government building collapse and fall on people and their properties, causes injury and damages? Where are these people going to get compensation from? So this means that it's important that we insure all these buildings, knowing that we don't have structures designed to face any possible earthquake in the country.
One would think that it's a natural thing to do to ensure public buildings. It should come naturally to the government. You've been practicing insurance for some time, so I'm just wondering, why is it difficult to do so?
Yes, so sometimes when you look at government, you might say that it doesn't have limited resources. So in case that there's a sudden fall of government property on people or maybe third parties, causing injury or death, government might think that they have all the means, they have the resources to take care of these people. But when it comes to the economics of the economy, that's where you realize that even if you have the money to take care of these people, you could have diverted it into other sectors, whilst you transfer that risk to other people like insurance companies, to cater for those ones. And you realize that anytime there's casualties, people call on government. Anytime there are fire on our markets, people are calling on government. And it's the same money that government will use to compensate these people. But if the risk is being transferred to insurance companies, then it becomes easier for government to look elsewhere, to concentrate on other activities or other parts of the economy, and leave this one, transfer these risks also into the hands of insurance companies.
Okay.
So government might think that it has the enough resources so that when there's any casualty, it can. But if it's transferred, government can look elsewhere and concentrate so much and push more money into other sectors of the country.
That's an unfortunate assumption, but just for people who are thinking that, threats of a possible earthquake is alarmist, how close are we to that?
Okay, so I think you can realize that recently there was the earth tremor, something small, and we realized that something could happen. And Ghana has experienced earthquake. I think the first one was in 1615, and aside that we have experienced a serious one 3 times. The last one being, I think, 1939. So this means that there's a possibility. Anything that there's a possibility of happening means that you need to look at it. One thing I'm happy about what government initiative has done is, anytime, most of the times we wait for the event to happen before we do the post-loss actions. And this, I'm very happy that he has charged the engineers to check these. But I think what we need to add is the insurance bit, the insurance aspect. Because the engineers, I know they will go and they will come out that most of the structures are not built to stand earthquake in Ghana. So if they are not able to stand earthquake in Ghana, and there's a possibility, some has happened before, we can talk about 3 occasions, and there's a possibility that some can happen again, then transfer the losses that will come after the earthquake is the best thing for the country.
Justice Prepare J, thanks very much for your time tonight. I appreciate it.
Okay.